You might think that losing respect from your adult children is just an inevitable part of aging. But did you know that recent research in family psychology suggests the complete opposite? Studies show that respect in adult parent-child relationships can actually be rebuilt and strengthened at any stage of life through specific communication strategies and boundary-setting techniques. Have you noticed that your relationship with your adult kids has changed? Do you find yourself feeling overlooked in family decisions? Or maybe you catch yourself walking on eggshells around them. If you're nodding along, you're definitely not alone. And more importantly, you have the power to turn this around. Stay with me until the end, because you'll learn 6 proven strategies that could help you rebuild mutual respect and feel more valued in your family relationships. These aren't just feel-good tips. They're backed by research on healthy adult family dynamics. Let's start by talking about what you might be experiencing right now. Are you consistently overlooked or dismissed when family decisions are being made? Do you find yourself feeling resentful after family gatherings? Or maybe you're avoiding certain conversations altogether because you know they'll leave you feeling frustrated. Here's what's happening. Many parents fall into patterns that actually undermine their own authority and respect without realizing it. You might catch yourself giving in too often just to keep the peace, or constantly explaining and justifying your decisions to adult children who should respect your autonomy. Here's what experts in family psychology tell us. Respect in relationships, regardless of age, is built through 3 key elements: clear expectations, modeled behavior, and consistent follow-through. Dr. Susan Forward's research on toxic family dynamics shows that children, even as adults, respond to adult-to-adult communication patterns, not passive-aggressive or guilt-based messages. The good news? This means you have control over how these interactions unfold. You're not helpless in this situation, and it's never too late to shift the dynamic. The first strategy is learning to set boundaries calmly and clearly. Instead of letting frustration build up until you explode, or worse, just silently accepting disrespectful behavior, you can use what psychologists call I statements, combined with clear expectations. Here's the formula. When you do X, I feel Y. Please do Z. For example, when you interrupt me during conversations, I feel dismissed. Please let me finish my thoughts before responding. Are you doing this consistently? Have you been clear about what behavior you find unacceptable? Most parents skip this step and then wonder why their adult children don't seem to understand their boundaries. The second strategy involves having honest, respectful conversations about mutual expectations. This isn't about lecturing or demanding. It's about creating a two-way dialogue where both parties understand what respectful interaction looks like. You might say something like, "I'd like to talk about how we communicate with each other. I want to make sure we're both comfortable with how our conversations go. What would help you feel heard, and what would help me feel respected?" Do you notice how this approach invites collaboration rather than creating defensiveness? Have you tried having this kind of conversation with your adult children? It might feel vulnerable, but research shows that clarity in relationships reduces conflict and builds mutual respect. Here's something that might surprise you. Your tone and actions matter more than your words when it comes to teaching respect. Adult children take cues from what parents do, not just what they say. If you want to be spoken to calmly, you need to speak calmly. If you want your opinions valued, you need to show that you value their opinions too, even when you disagree. This doesn't mean becoming a doormat. It means showing them what respectful disagreement looks like. Are you modeling the kind of communication you want to receive? Have you checked your own tone and approach lately? Sometimes we unknowingly create the very dynamic we're trying to avoid. Before we continue, I'm curious about your experience. Are any of these patterns sounding familiar to you? If you've tried setting boundaries but felt like they weren't respected, let me know in the comments. If you've noticed that your tone might be contributing to the problem, share that too. I read every comment, and knowing where you're struggling helps me create more helpful content for you. The fourth strategy is something that requires a real mindset shift: choosing affection over power. When conflicts arise, instead of trying to win or prove your point, focus on reconnecting emotionally first. This might mean saying something like, "I can see we're both getting frustrated. I love you, and I want us to work this out. Can we take a break and come back to this when we're both feeling calmer? Could you see yourself trying this approach?" It takes real strength to choose connection over being right, but research shows that relationships heal faster when emotional safety is prioritized over winning arguments. Here's a crucial point that many parents miss: respect rebuilds slowly. Consistent behavior matters more than isolated efforts. When you see your adult child treating you with respect, acknowledge it. Not in a dramatic way, but with genuine appreciation. You might say, "I really appreciated how you listened to my concerns about the family gathering. It meant a lot to me that you took my thoughts seriously." Are you recognizing and reinforcing the positive changes you see? Have you been consistent in your new approach, or do you find yourself slipping back into old patterns when you're stressed? The final strategy is perhaps the most challenging: accepting that healthy relationship change takes time and requires both parties to participate. You can control your own behavior, but you can't control theirs. What you can do is stay steady, flexible, and optimistic as the relationship evolves. This means celebrating small improvements rather than expecting dramatic overnight changes. It means staying committed to your new approach even when progress feels slow. Is this something you've been struggling with? Do you find yourself getting discouraged when changes don't happen as quickly as you'd like? Now you might be thinking, "This sounds good in theory, but what if my adult child just doesn't respond to these approaches?" Here's what family therapists tell us: when you consistently change your part of the dynamic, it forces the other person to respond differently too. They might test your boundaries at first, but if you stay consistent, most relationships do improve. You might also worry, what if setting boundaries damages our relationship? Research actually shows the opposite. Relationships with clear, respectful boundaries are typically stronger and more satisfying for both parties. Let's talk about how to put this into practice. Start with just one strategy this week. Maybe it's using that, "When you do X, I feel Y. Please do Z" formula the next time you feel disrespected. Or perhaps it's having one honest conversation about mutual expectations. The key is to start small and build momentum. You don't need to transform your entire relationship overnight. You just need to take one step toward the kind of relationship you want. I want to acknowledge something important. If you're watching this video, you're probably feeling hurt. Maybe you're feeling like the parent who raised these children deserves more respect. And you're absolutely right. Your feelings are valid, and it's natural to feel disappointed when family relationships aren't what you hoped they'd be. But here's what I want you to remember. You have more power in this situation than you might think. Every conversation is a chance to model the respect you want to see. Every boundary you set, calmly, is a step toward a healthier relationship. Studies on family relationships show that it's never too late to improve communication patterns. Dr. John Gottman's research on relationship repair shows that relationships can be strengthened at any stage when both parties are willing to try new approaches. You might feel like you're too old to change these patterns, but research consistently shows that our capacity for growth and relationship improvement continues throughout our lives. Your age isn't a limitation. It's actually an advantage because you have the wisdom and life experience to approach these challenges with patience and perspective. Before we wrap up, Here are some quick practical tips you can implement immediately. First, practice your I statements before difficult conversations. Write them down if you need to. The more prepared you are, the more likely you are to stay calm and clear. Second, remember that you can take breaks during difficult conversations. If things get heated, it's perfectly okay to say, "I need a few minutes to collect my thoughts. Let's continue this conversation in a little while." Third, focus on one issue at a time. Don't try to address every problem in one conversation. Pick the most important boundary or issue and stick to that. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Respect doesn't just vanish with time. It evolves. With awareness and action, it can be restored. You have the ability to influence how you're treated by how you communicate and what you accept. The relationship you have with your adult children doesn't have to stay the way it is right now. Every family dynamic can be improved when at least one person is willing to try a different approach. Remember, you're not alone in this. Many parents go through seasons where their relationships with adult children need some attention and care. The fact that you're watching this video and thinking about how to improve things shows that you're a caring parent who wants the best for your family. If you've made it this far, you're clearly serious about improving your family relationships, and I appreciate your commitment to growth. Like this video if you found these strategies helpful, and subscribe for more gentle, science-backed tips on navigating family relationships. Most importantly, I want to hear from you. Comment below if you're ready to try one of these strategies this week. Let's support each other in building the respectful, loving family relationships we all deserve. Remember, you can rebuild mutual care and dignity in your family relationships, just one conversation and boundary at a time. Your choices matter, change is possible at any age, and you deserve to feel valued and respected in your own family. The journey to better family relationships starts with a single step. Which strategy will you try first?